In a surprising moment that quickly went viral, American television host Jimmy Fallon praised BTS member Jin for his jaw-dropping appearance at Milan Fashion Week, claiming the K-pop star outshone even the biggest Hollywood celebrities on the red carpet. Fallon, who has welcomed BTS multiple times to The Tonight Show starring Jimmy Fallon, couldn't hold back his admiration for Jin's dazzling look at the Gucci premiere of The Tiger. During a segment that aired on NBC, Fallon showed a photo of Jin arriving at Palazzo Mezzanotte in Milan, dressed in Gucci's La Famiglia collection, an open silk shirt, black tailor trousers, and a striking necklace. Fallon's reaction was immediate. "Look at him. That's not just fashion. That's royalty. I mean, Hollywood stars were there, but Jin? He stole the whole show." Fallon's remarks echoed the sentiment of global media, from Paris Match describing Jin's look as princely and sexy, to Billboard naming him the true centerpiece of Milan Fashion Week. By highlighting Jin in front of an American audience, Fallon amplified the already massive global coverage, pushing Jin's fashion moment into US mainstream entertainment headlines. Fans, known as ARMY, erupted on social media following Fallon's comments. Hashtags like #JimmyFallonForJin and #JinThePrince trended within hours as clips of Fallon's praise circulated across X, TikTok, and YouTube. Many fans noted that Fallon's genuine admiration reflected the broader shift in Western media, where K-pop idols are no longer seen as outsiders, but as leaders redefining global fashion culture. For Jin, the recognition from Fallon marked yet another milestone in a career that continues to evolve beyond music. As Gucci's global ambassador since 2024, his Milan appearance was his third high-profile collaboration with the Italian fashion house, reinforcing his status as both a cultural icon and a global style leader. Now, with Jimmy Fallon publicly acknowledging his dominance over Hollywood stars, Jin's impact has become undeniable. He is no longer just BTS's eldest member. He is a global phenomenon rewriting the rules of celebrity influence. The glittering lights of Milan Fashion Week had already shifted the global spotlight to Jin of BTS, but few expected his impact to echo as far as New York's late-night stage. In a moment that electrified both fans and industry insiders, American television host Jimmy Fallon openly praised Jin's appearance at Gucci's The Tiger premiere, declaring that the K-pop star outshone even the biggest Hollywood celebrities. For many ARMY, Fallon's words were more than just a compliment. They represented a symbolic validation from one of America's most influential entertainment figures. Fallon, whose Tonight Show has long been a platform where BTS showcased their music and personalities, knows firsthand the global power of the group. Yet his latest remark went further. It singled out Jin not only as a performer, but as a cultural icon who dominated a stage far removed from music, the world of high fashion, a familiar stage. A new spotlight. Fallon's admiration aired during a lighthearted segment on The Tonight Show. Holding up an image of Jin arriving at Palazzo Mezzanotte, Fallon couldn't contain his awe. "Look at him," he exclaimed. "That's not just fashion. That's royalty. Hollywood stars were there, but Jin? He stole the whole show." The audience erupted in cheers, as if they too had felt the magnetic pull of Jin's Milan moment. This wasn't the first time Fallon had spotlighted BTS. Over the years, he has interviewed the group multiple times, from viral segments like Subway Olympics to heartfelt conversations about their music and struggles. But never before had he elevated a single member in such a direct and glowing way. For Jin, whose journey from enlisting in the military in 2022 to conquering Milan in 2025 has been nothing short of dramatic, Fallon's recognition carried the weight of international acknowledgement. Western media joins the chorus. Fallon's remarks aligned seamlessly with how European and American media had already framed Jin's Milan appearance. Paris Match in France dubbed his look princely and sexy, while Billboard described him as the undisputed centerpiece of Milan Fashion Week. Even Variety suggested that the premiere belonged not to Gucci's film stars like Demi Moore and Edward Norton, but to Jin, who commanded attention from the moment he arrived in Gucci's La Famiglia collection. By echoing these sentiments on an American late-night stage, Fallon effectively introduced Jin's Milan triumph to millions of casual viewers in the US, many of whom may not closely follow fashion weeks or international entertainment news. The result was a ripple effect. Clips of Fallon's praise circulated rapidly across social media, extending Jin's reach beyond traditional fan communities. Social media eruption. As expected, ARMY turned Fallon's words into a global event. Within hours, hashtags like #JimmyFallonForJin, #JinThePrince, and #JinGlobalIcon trended on X, garnering millions of posts. Fans share reaction videos of Fallon's segment, mixing them with clips of Jin striding confidently in Milan. One fan commented, "Fallon said what the world was already thinking. Jin wasn't just part of Milan, he was Milan." The buzz crossed borders quickly. American media outlets like ET Online and Access Hollywood picked up the story, while Korean newspapers celebrated the moment as proof of BTS's enduring influence even during their military hiatus. For Jin personally, it was another example of how his global reach transcended music, fandom, and geography. Beyond fashion, toward cultural diplomacy, fashion insiders were quick to interpret the significance of Fallon's praise. For Gucci, whose sales and reputation have faced challenges in recent years, Jin's global ambassadorship has proven to be a masterstroke. Analysts at Business of Fashion noted that Jin's Milan appearance generated unprecedented engagement, with millions of interactions across platforms within just 24 hours. Fallon's coverage only amplified this Jin effect, transforming a high-fashion debut into a mainstream cultural phenomenon. Moreover, Jin's ability to dominate headlines in both Milan and New York highlights a broader shift: the growing role of K-pop idols as cultural diplomats. Unlike Hollywood stars, who often remain confined to entertainment, K-pop figures like Jin are reshaping industries, from fashion and cosmetics to technology and philanthropy. Fallon's words, therefore, were not just about Jin's outfit. They acknowledged his broader influence as a bridge between East and West. A symbolic milestone perhaps most moving for fans was the symbolic nature of Fallon's recognition. Jin, once known primarily as the group's eldest member with a playful sense of humor, has steadily transformed into a global icon. His return from military service in June 2024 marked a turning point, leading to solo albums, sold-out tours, and now his rise as Gucci's face on the world stage. Fallon's remarks confirmed what ARMY has long believed, that Jin's star power is not confined to Korea, nor even to K-pop. It is universal. As the world reflects on Milan Fashion Week, one truth has emerged: Jin BTS has redefined what it means to be a global celebrity. And with Jimmy Fallon's enthusiastic endorsement, his name is now etched not only in fashion's memory, but also in the lexicon of American pop culture. For Jin, the journey continues. For Fallon, it was a chance to spotlight an artist he has always admired. For fans, it was the moment the Western world finally spoke aloud what they already knew: Jin isn't just part of the conversation, he is the headline. As the echoes of Milan Fashion Week continue to reverberate, many fashion critics and entertainment insiders have drawn bold comparisons. Jin's Gucci premiere moment, they argue, belongs in the same category as Lady Gaga's legendary Met Gala entrances, Rihanna's trailblazing red carpet dominance, and Harry Styles' era-defining partnership with Gucci. Yet there is a crucial difference. Jin achieved this level of global recognition not after years of carefully curated fashion exposure, but in his very first Milan premiere as Gucci's ambassador. For context, Lady Gaga's 2019 Met Gala look in a dramatic pink ensemble is still remembered as one of the most talked-about fashion statements of the decade. Rihanna's jewel-encrusted yellow gown from 2015 remains iconic in the history of high fashion. Harry Styles, through his daring gender-fluid outfits, became synonymous with Gucci's brand identity. But Jin's arrival in Milan carried a different kind of gravity. He was not simply making a fashion statement. He was rewriting the rules of how K-pop intersects with Western luxury. The comparison is striking. Gaga and Rihanna entered the conversation through shock and grandeur. Styles brought bold reinvention. Jin, however, relied on something uniquely his own: a natural elegance and quiet confidence that transcended trends. With a simple silk shirt, black trousers, and an understated necklace, Jin commanded the carpet with the same force as Hollywood's loudest fashion icons. And this understated dominance is what caught Jimmy Fallon's attention. As he said, "That's royalty."